Some of the common nutrition mistakes you see artists make.
Today you eat at 10, tomorrow you eat at 15, the other day you eat at 22, the other day you will remove 02. You are confusing the body.
Many times when I'm on the road, maybe stopping to deposit some money or meet different people who know me from different things. Some say, hey, Bakamba, no, him guys operate. Some will say, you are the guy who did that podcast. Some will say, I watch your interviews on TV, radio. And some ask, when is the next episode dropping? That is right. And right there is some motivation. To be honest with you, you keep me going, you push me to grow PMC as a brand. And now we have taken it a step further. We have PMC agency helping artists, business and brands plug professionally and safely. No scams, no shortcut, just certified service. If you want to grow and protect your brand, use PMC agency, certified, no scammers, recognized by the people, powered by the vision. PMC is here to stay.
Where we get to dive into different conversation on today's episode. I'm very excited as we dive into a topic that often gets overlooked in the music industry: how artists maintain their healthy energy and performance through the proper lifestyle and nutrition. We have with us our special guest, who is none other than Dr Jiji, a
nutritionist.
I'm trying to pronounce it the way I'm supposed to pronounce it before I get into trouble. He has been on Prime TV for a while now, talking about different things, and we've been talking about this interview for a long time now. Yeah. I remember the last time we spoke about it, never happened until now. And someone is asking, say, have I healthy food? I got Yatu Vibes. Welcome on the show.
Thank you so much.
Been the bunch.
To pushing.
Okay.
Okay. So we need to push.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, like I said from the intro, healthy yabantu to my artist, not just artist, but overall, as human beings, we tend to take good care of our health.
Yeah.
Most especially tikadwala.
Exactly.
But for as long as I'm awake,
okay.
My body's okay,
yeah.
I feel like everything is fine. For you, your first word to someone who's watching right now, does health means just because you're not sick, you're healthy and okay?
Look, health is everything. It's the bedrock of who you are. If you don't take care of yourself, then you're not there. Like I always say, you are the only one who lives in your body. There's nobody else. So when you feel the pain, it's your pain. When you feel the goodness, it's your goodness. When you feel diarrhea, it's your diarrhea, nobody else. So the point is that you need to take care of yourself, starting from the head to your toe. And every aspect of who you are starts from the mind. So your mental faculty should be as perfect as you when you're singing a song if you're an artist, or when you're writing a book if you're a writer, or when you are cooking if you're a cook. As long as you know your craft, you feed your craft. So the issue of growing anything in your life is about feeding it. So whatever you feed grows. So with you, if you are feeding your being a DJ or you're being a host on Yatu Vibes, we know that this is who you are and that is what you feed on. And so you've seen that this show has grown. How many artists have you interviewed here?
Yeah,
a lot of it, because you are feeding it. You understand? So that comes to your health as well. So your health, you have to feed it. So if you have a problem with your eyes, feed your eyes. If you have a problem with your stomach, feed your stomach. If you have a problem with your feet, feed your... If you have a problem with your voice, because artists today, their greatest asset is what?
A voice.
A voice. And you see, there's food that you eat that will strengthen your voice for a long run. There's food that you eat that will change the vocal codes that you have in order to go high pitch or low pitch or bass and everything else. So those are the things that people need to understand.
How do I know that I'm feeding myself the right food?
So you notice that when you have a deficiency, I'll tell you about how bodies get deficient, right? Say, for example, if you start noticing your energy levels are low, what do? You have to eat something that gives it energy. If you notice that all of a sudden you had a very sharp voice, because I remember when I was younger, we used to sing. You know, if I can tell you a story about this music that you're seeing in Zambia, we've been there. I love music. I know I've done music before. I think in your system also on Joy FM. I think you'd have my music there. Old music.
I'll try to check.
Yes,
old.
old music.
What name were you using?
I was using Dr Jiji, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
I'll try to check.
Because I remember when you were at the radio station was at
Lima Tower.
Lima Tower.
Yeah.
Yes, I featured some point there, and then you see we used to rehearse music from at Kamtengo Beats, Kukawata kuja kutali kwenze kwenye Black Moon too, if you remember Kazembe. We had this guy.
For someone who doesn't know Kazembe, am I?
Yes. We used to rehearse in Kazembe, and we had that guy who sang Wamutu Kurusale Wankonyo, Davis.
Yes.
All those guys, we used to rehearse there. We had serious vocalists because that time it was only you and the microphone. The voice has to be perfect. We never knew. I actually went to a recording session with Mainza, Mainza was in a session, and this guy, one time I'll tell you this funny story where this guy, I don't know where he came from, and Obidi Mamaning, figure chip my microphone, and a microphone, before this C Behringer came, and like a microphone, Mainza, kamushe so, but then it was $1,000. Eropazan kudala, muma 2000, 2007. And then Abakagwe, some guys. The guy was told this one is $1,000. The guy stopped singing, he just sat like this. And so anabada osamwa, nobo samonuka. So the point is, if you are in an industry like the entertainment industry, your paramount and most urgent need is your health. Because without your health, you will not go anywhere. And that is why we've had people who've died early, and they've robbed us of entertainment or of the songs that they were supposed to sing for us because they've died. And so we don't want that to happen to the current generation. Okay? So because you look at the industry, if their lifestyle is not in tandem with what they are supposed to give us, then we have a problem. We'll be losing them one by one. And we don't want that. Yeah, we don't want that.
Before you get to explain more on this show, it doesn't matter whether you're an artist, you're a doctor like Dr. Jiji.
Yeah.
We are preparing questions that we want to get to hear from our guest. Last week we had a different guest. Today we're having you just to get to hear how you're going to be responding to these questions. So I have for you 5 questions. You respond how you feel like you're supposed to respond. So 5 questions. My first question that I want to find out from you is, so this one is on lifestyle and daily habits.
Yeah.
What are the biggest lifestyle challenges artists face in maintaining good health?
Okay, so lifestyle for artists. Now, this is not because somebody is weak or somebody has got no character. This is because of their exposure. Why I'm explaining this point is because your lifestyle is according to the industry that you're found in. Now, the industry of music is naturally brings crowds to you. It brings people. It brings girls if you're a man. Okay? It brings access to these people who throw themselves at you. So now, because probably you grew up in an environment where you don't have access to these things, and so when you find yourselves in that situation, you overindulge. You understand? Without thinking of the consequences. That's number one. Number two, there are people who just love you. Because of your music, of course, because of your talent, they want to be associated by you. Not because they love you, not because they are friends to you, no, but because they just want to be associated. No, me, I'm associated to PMC. You understand? He's my friend. There's nothing you can tell me about that. But this guy will also come with money, and they'll buy beer. Okay? They'll buy very serious liquor, they'll buy drugs, they'll buy all these things, and they'll be taking in your presence. Now, you could be a person who doesn't take liquor, or you could be a person who doesn't take drugs. But because of the environment that you are daily found yourself, you find that you start partaking in these things, And then you now, when you start partaking in these things, you are constantly, probably you have a show every weekend. So meaning every weekend there'll be girls, there'll be beer, there'll be drugs, okay? Then you are exposed to these things. Then when you take these things, you are intoxicating yourself. Now, that is where my science part comes in, okay? Your lifestyle is determined by how much you put inside your body for you to live a life that you are supposed to live. Because, look, if you are a person who is quiet and you go for a picnic in the bush, you walk, you look at the birds, you look at the water flow falls, and that's a different life. Not a life where you go in now, there's beer, drugs, there's noise, there's, and everything. And this is your life because you're talented and you're supposed to perform. There's a lot of noise. Now, in an environment where there's a lot of noise, the body has to respond in order to accommodate the noise, number one. Okay? Now, I'll tell you this scientifically. PMC, if you are a DJ, you go to a club every weekend. Do you know that your body prepares for that? The body is never surprised. It's only surprised the first time when you do that. When you go to play music in a club, you will play music today in a noisy place. It will struggle to balance until it accepts. The next week, when you go to play again, it will prepare for that noise. Meaning it has adapted. So the body is able to do what? To adapt to a lifestyle. So when you play a noise, you do that. So when the first day you drink beer, the body will be shocked. What is this substance that you've brought into me? Then tomorrow, the same time that you took beer yesterday, tomorrow it will release hormones, it will release juices to prepare for another same type of the drink that you took yesterday, which is beer. So if you're doing it every weekend, the body is able to prepare, and your liver produces, things that should be able to curtail the shock so that you're never shocked. Okay? So this is where the lifestyle comes in. So what you do every day, what you do every weekend, also the body has to adapt to that. Okay? So now, if you don't do it that weekend, the body is shocked. So you have now to replace something with that, and it has to find something to replace. Now, this is a mental, scientific, proven process that I'm about to explain to you. The brain or the subconscious is never empty. It replaces every moment of your life. Now, what it is this. If you're a musician and you like rehearsing or singing, you always find yourself with a song in the mind. Have you noticed that? When you're walking around, or mulimu meeting someone called our boss, to explain, you find yourself, then you're wondering, where did the song come from? It's because it is filter. It is the filling in the gap that you are not using. So if you're supposed to be doing something at a particular time and you're not doing it, it means that the body has to find a replacement. And so this is where lifestyle comes in. The lifestyle of you eating and the healthy habits. It has to be made sure that every musician, when they wake up in the morning, they need to drink at least warm water with lemon. That is very important. Why? It works on their voice. It also works on their gut. Very important, because the gut and the voice move together. If you are constipated, you cannot sing properly. You have to empty your bowels. You've heard people who go into a studio and sing the mumu did it. Oh, mumpatikiza, abaimbache bad. Why? Because the body is not ready. So you wake up in the morning, you drink some water. Number two, you need to watch out on the intake of starches. There's a habit of our people eating starches, a lot of starches, a lot of bread, a lot of, drinking a lot of sugary drinks and whatnot. But if you woke up and ate strawberries and you ate grapes and you ate, a bit of some avocados and, some of these things that are palatable, like fruit salads and stuff. That way, you are maintaining a healthy body that is preparing you for the challenges of the day or for the day. Why? Because you can afford now. You're a musician. You're making money. So if you're making money, take care of your body. Don't be waste now. Mambo kala mungati ni majanki musa che prepare chinsima chikulu chanchan. No, just prepare a meal that is going to be conducive for you, because you have a talent which you should give the world, and so we want to be in a lifestyle that is good for you, for us to be listening to you all the time. Yeah.
I think the next question that I have is where also maybe you touched a bit, but I will still ask it anyways. So what are some of the common nutrition mistakes you see artists make?
Okay, so the issue is that, number one, they are not regular in terms of meals. They eat as and when they feel like. It is not right. I'll give you an example of who's that guy, the white guy, the rapper from America. What's his name? The friend to 50 Cent. What's his name? Eminem.
Yeah.
Eminem, all his career, I remember when I was following these things in the music industry a long time when we were at school, I noticed he was very, very disciplined. He took music as a business and as work. He's a guy who comes in at 8, goes for lunch at 13, comes back at 14, knocks off at 17, goes for home. That's the guy. If you can Google that, you'll find that. Eminem is not a person who records in the night. No, we were cracking the night. What? No, it's the night. It's time to sleep. No, that's when I had the impression. No. If you are going to eat a meal, know when you eat every day. Why am I telling you this? It's because earlier on I told you that the body has to prepare. If you eat at 13 PMC, the body produces juices, produces enzymes to digest the food that you're supposed to eat. Now, here's a situation where today you eat at 10, tomorrow you eat at 15, the other day you eat at 22, the other day you will remove 02. You're confusing the body. So those are the kind of mistakes that you don't get the benefit of the nutrition for you to sustain your voice, number one, for you to sustain your brain. Now, the brain and the voice are the major aspects for a musician. And remember, the stomach. Why? Because the way you think or what inspires you, it has to be interpreted for you to put in words so that you can sing. You understand? So that's why it's very important for you to have a clear mindset and a clear vocal range in terms of your voice. Now, why am I saying you don't have to make mistakes? It's because there's a time that the body prepares for everything that happens in your life. And it follows your lifestyle. Yes, it follows your lifestyle.
The next question is okay. So we'll move on to another question that I want to get here from you. What advice would you give to artists who struggle with maintaining a healthy diet? Maybe while recording, you know, where they're just struggling. Yeah.
Okay, now I've been to recording sessions, and normally what we used to buy or what we used to bring was junky food. They'll bring in pizzas, they'll bring in all these things that the junky shops are selling because they want to sing. But if you notice that when you eat oily things or you eat fatty things, they clog your voice. So there's particular food that you need to eat for the voice alone, and this food has to be mucusless. Now, there's what we call mucusless food. Mucusless food is, say, for example, watermelons. No, watermelons are mucusless. When you eat that thing, you are going to nourish your body, and you're going to be healthy. Now, when you're eating mucusless food like a watermelon, you are going to eat the seeds. You can blend them in a juice. You're going to eat the red part. You're going to eat the white part, and you're going to eat the green part. That's a balanced meal on its own. That's why I always tell people to say you're not supposed to eat a watermelon with other fruits or with other foods, because that's a balanced meal on its own. That thing can nourish your body on its own. Okay, you can also eat foods like kiwis. You can also eat foods like grapefruits. You've seen the grapefruits, the ones that they look like oranges, but they're bitter. Those ones are very good for the voice. They open up the voice because of the vitamin C. It's very high in vitamin C. So vitamin C actually is very good for vocal ranges. So lemons, oranges, grapefruits, those things, they're very good in terms of if you're dealing with your voice. And also the things that are very good is also the grapes and the cucumbers, because of the H3O, which is found in the cucumber. You find that it helps you remove the mucuses that are seated on your sinuses. Okay, so the more you remove the mucus in your diet and in your lifestyle, the better your vocal becomes.
I can be honest with you. The current generation that we have of artists right now, we might even talk about this information right now. They are watching and they are listening right now. And they're asking themselves, saying, even if I do all these things, a voice is just a God-given voice.
No.
I've never heard anyone complain saying I've lost my voice.
No.
You know how the artists are. They'll still say, boss, tiumaji video available patebo. Vikabuela che never minute good.
Yeah, but you could live your life like that. But what about you living a very organized life? A life that is knowledgeable. Don't be like, we had people who lived carelessly and they've died because of their food, because of their... And you've seen, there are people who used to write very good songs, but all of a sudden you cannot write a song because your brain is clogged with, fatty acids. And so you need to understand the art of knowing how to create. There are people who write songs that are long lasting. Upezati 30 years mukati kuimba nyimbo. But when mkalemba kanyimbo lelo chalira because of the beat, and tomorrow your song is gone. Why? Because there was, you see, when you're an artist, I'll tell you this, PMC. When you're an artist, I'm a writer of songs. I'm a writer of books. But then when I write it has to be significant. It has to mean something. It has to be based on a truth or on something that is in my heart. So the words, the way I correlate the words, the way I put the words, and the way I look at the meanings, it has to make sense for me and for the person who's singing. Because art, music is art. It's like poetry. There's a way you put words. You just don't like, no, nakukonda, nakuyewa, ukayewa. Because you've heard people say, I miss you. But in poetry, you cannot say, I miss you. You're supposed to say, every time my brain moves from one point to the next, it remembers the words and the steps of your aroma. And you just create those things so that you're able to express yourself with an art. And that's what people don't understand, especially the current generation. They'll come to you and say, nalemba chinyimbo. Chinyimbo unalemba, but what do you mean? What is the meaning behind this? No, ninapitamo mdala. And we are tired of this story of saying munapitamo. Who hasn't suffered in this? It's like it's a motivational thing that people always... No! Yeah. Let's live our lives. Let's write. There's a lot to write about. Yeah. So let's understand. Let's have knowledge so that we're able to understand. It's important to do that. Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is, can nutrition really boost creativity? I think you mentioned about that. Yeah. Focused in the studio. Maybe the next question is, what is one simple tip every artist should follow to stay healthy and energized?
Okay, so for you to get your energy right, for you to get your... you need to look at the water that you drink also matters, because the system has to be clean. So I always advise people, come to the sanitarium. I run a sanitarium. And when you come to there as an artist, what we do there is that we will clean you up. We will do what we do, detox. When we detox you, we will also look at remove the mucuses out of your system, because mucus is what blocks everything in the body. And also that's what makes you sick. And so when we remove that, we also do a process of colon irrigation. Also, we can do that, and also we can do vocal massage. So we do the because your endocrine is here, and also your vocals are here, and your sinuses are here. So we do head massage. We also do chiropractic where I come from, and we can do that the whole body, but we are concentrating on the area that you're interested in. So there's also we can teach you. There are techniques that we teach you in order to avoid inflammation. So inflammation disturbs your vocal ability. So we need to tell you the foods that you're supposed to eat and all those things that you're supposed to do in order for you to get it right all the time. So if you're recording and you're an artist, it's very good to go through opinions, people that matter and people that can advise you properly. Now, I always give 3 examples. You are not feeling well. There are 3 places you're supposed to go to. You can go to a doctor who is found at probably UTH or any clinic, and get your advice. When you do your blood tests, you do your whatever test, then you get those results and they'll advise you. Then the next person you're supposed to go to is a herbalist, professional herbalist, not Hebam Town, our basically Shanshan. Herbs are very good. We need that knowledge. We need to understand. Don't shun it at Nesin Machitavama herbs. Next time, okay? And then we need a nutritionist. Now, when you find a nutritionist who can advise you, that is where we come in. We are professional advisors when it comes to nutrition, because nutrition is what heals. It's not the herbs, it's not the drugs. You've been given drugs won't cure you. They will just numb your system for you to feel better. Herbs will catalyze, but herbs can only catalyze when the nutrition is right. Because in the body, the blood is what moves the whole body. So you have 3 things in your body, PMC. You have your cells. Remember, your cells are the ones that make your tissues, and your tissues are the ones that make your organs, and your organs are the ones that make your body. Okay? Now, all these things are built with tissues, with cells. Now, what feeds the cells is the blood. Okay? So the blood has to be clean and it has to be healthy. And how do you feed the blood? It's the nutrition. So the nutrition has to feed this in order for the organs to properly work with which have the cells. And those are the ones now that hold the vocal ability that you have, the organ. You understand? So that's how you feed them. Then you have the lymph, which is another liquid. So you have a liquid which is the blood, and you have another liquid which is called the lymph. Now the lymph is what removes the dirt out of the system. That's why mapezekati sometimes ndiwe artist wankana vipute. Why? Because the lymph is working. It has to remove the dirt out of your system. So now how do you help the lymph to move fast so that you put? Because the blood has got a pump, which is the valve, which is the heart. You call it the heart, right? So it pumps blood throughout the body to feed the cells. Then this lymph has to move throughout the body to remove the dead cells and the chemicals that you're taking from the beer, from the drugs, from the noise. And sometimes the noise and the environment that you're in, if you're too many people talking to you and the body produces chemicals to defend itself from this environment. So what happens, those chemicals also are left hanging. The lymph has to come and take them out, and through your urine, through your defecation, and through your skin. And so all these things, when they come out, then you are able now to understand that your health is perfect. So now, how do you do that? You need to eat properly. You need proper massage. You need proper guidance. And you need to know what to do at what time. And also the body has to relax. Please rest. Don't go for a gig the whole night. Then for the whole day. Just rest. Give your body rest.
And we thought they said we have to work hard. By not resting.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if you work hard and you collapse, you die. What happens?
Could be the reason why we're having so many accidents like because of
People don't sleep.
they don't sleep. They're not resting well.
No,
they're not well rested.
Yeah,
because I've seen some artists where they have a show on a Friday in Lusaka and they're traveling to Solwezi the next day. And they have to drive.
Exactly.
They're driving themselves.
And you find that the same guy who's driving was there and he was awake with you the whole night. So it comes back to what we were chatting earlier on management. Management is very important. The people that drive should be separated from the people that manage your food. They should be separated from the people that manage your music so that you are able to find yourself resting. Because as an artist, you are the asset of this whole group. You can't be an artist, you are his own manager and you a driver, footy, and you nadia or sinadia. There are people who need to know, guys, I'm supposed to eat at 12 hours. Food has to be brought by your person at 12 hours. I don't know if you've managed people who are rich, because I interact with people who are rich and they have diabetes. They have people who bring them food at a specific time. When the body needs the energy, the food is brought.
There's someone I was supposed to meet. After this conversation, I think now I kind of understand them. You know where you're supposed to have a meeting with this person and you are late by 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you saying, this is my lunch time.
Yes.
We'll have the meeting after.
Yes.
And I was thinking they were being rude.
No.
You get?
No.
Then now after you explain, it kind of makes sense because I was like, okay, so I missed this meeting in 2 minutes.
Yes.
And I was getting into their other time.
Yes, into their other time.
I feel like this is a conversation that we don't have. And maybe it's because of lack of maybe facilities in Zambia, like Dr. Jiji. Like I've known you for a while now, and like you know where we just see you come, and we have never had this conversation. I'm now so interested to know, like, why don't we have so many people like you talking about such issues?
Yes, that's why I've decided. Look, I am tired of shouting at people. Even you, I've told you. Remember, I was forcing you to drink water.
Yes, you were.
Alkaline water. I was saying, look, I'm tired of shouting at people like, you're not drinking water, you're not eating well, you're not doing well. I want to be available to teach these people how to eat and how to live. Sometimes you'll be shouting at somebody, they don't know. They really don't know. You just rightly said it here. It's a timadia vevidiko. So the point is, vevidiko ni vabwanj. So I always say, and I give an example to say, you and me, PMC, we can get into ShopRite. You get the big trolley, chicha chikulu chicha. Nine and atenga trolley. In the same shop, looking for the same groceries, you come out with majamu, mabata, mashanuku, vambiluku, majuicy, ma orange, ma chanchan, ma junky food. But nine in zange na ShopRite mamene, no choka mo na ma vegetables, na ma fruits, na ma vonse very healthy, but the same shop. So this thing, it's about knowledge. It's about understanding what you want, because it's garbage in, garbage out. You feed what you grow, and remember, you are what you eat. So when I say you are what you eat, you are creating a conscious, and that conscious is who you are, because what you think is what you are.
I tell people saying your health is your wealth.
Yes.
Dr. Jiji, due to time,
Yeah.
people that are watching right now, maybe in your remarks, not just the artist, but the country at large, anyone that is watching right now, anything that you want to talk about on this edition?
What I'm going to talk about is that the next time we'll be doing Yatu Vibes,
Yes.
is that we're going to have a Yatu Vibe at the vegetarian clinic, so that you can bring certain artists.
Yes.
So that we teach them how to cook food that is palatable, food that is good for the vocals, so that we are able to tell them, okay, these things are like, it's about education now. It's about educating and educating. So as many as we can get, let's bring them together, and so that you're able to film them and see and show how people can live a better life. And this now, because they are influential, this can go throughout our children, and you will have kids and youngsters and teenagers and these Gen Zs, and that can copy from their idols, and then these idols now can educate them and say, look, you can live a good life like this, like this, like this. So the question is, how do you take away pain? How do you take away constipation? How do you take away vocal inability? How do you take away headaches, so that through food and through understanding and through interactions. And how do you get, number one, a peace of mind? Because an artist needs a peace of mind all the time.
Let me ask a funny question. I know I said my last question. You understand Bemba, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What is Ichilungulida?
Ichilungulila, it's gases, gastritis.
What causes that?
What causes that is when you eat acidic food, and the body and the body is full of acids as well. Because the only place in the body that is acidic is the stomach, because it has to break down the food. So if there's what we call the sphincter upper, pa diaphragm, pa baka sphincter, akesa ku sphegas, kam kolomino. Okay? Mm-hmm. So that thing, when it opens up, it produces acid. If there's too much acid in the stomach, it produces acid, and that acid comes up like this. And when it comes up like this, you feel chilungulila. And sometimes when you have too much acids in your body, when you eat beans, when you eat this thing, and they tell you, no, namkwatama gases, it's because you are too much acidic. So what is the solution? The solution is to alkalize. And how do you alkalize? You detox, the same things I was talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if you have tried that before.
Yes, because what it is that you're trying to change the pH of the body using ash.
Yeah.
Ash is an alkaline substance, yes. So it's a science that is old and is traditional, and everything works.
I'm looking forward to that conversation there as well. I know for some artists, you might not get the knowledge about the conversation. You might even asking yourself a lot of questions. But I think now I'm so interested to be having you once in a while so that we see on the progress, and also we see on how other artists are getting the information right there. Yes. But it was great having you. You have the water.
Thank
water.
You. Yes,
the water. It's hard to find. I need to be honest.
Yeah.
Like you haven't been supplying it. Like I said, it's not in so many stores.
Yeah.
Just few stores.
Yeah.
But we can still talk about those stories. Yes. Where can people find that water?
No, we have them. The water is mostly found in Ndola. Here in Lusaka, we sell it ourselves. But we are trying to get a distributorship with one of the chain stores. Once it's on the chain stores, then we'll be good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry. But the water is available. If you want it, it's available.
Okay. This has been Yatu Vibes, different edition on a Friday like today. We're talking about something very different. Hope you go to one or two things. For more questions, make sure that you send us your messages, or maybe you can follow Dr Jiji. Make sure that you get in touch with him on a Friday. That is, what time? Friday?
Friday. Thursday,
14 hours. Yes. Get to ask more questions.
Yeah.
It's a live show, so get to ask more questions. Call live. If there are other questions that you feel like I didn't get to ask, get more information and getting to interact with him. So from Yatu Vibes, today's edition, back next week, same time, same place, right here on Prime TV.